Hello, everyone. Um, I'm doing Module 3 using graphs to explore data. I have the staff survey data here before us. And so my first assignment is to generate a histogram to explore the distribution of scores on the staff satisfaction scale. So let's do that. First, I'm going to go to graph and then chart builder. And from there, I'm going to clear out what I had before. From there, I go ahead and pick the histogram and move that into my cart preview. And then on my x-axis, I want the total staff satisfaction right here. And then I'm ready to run it. And I have already done that. And so let's pull that up. Here is my simple histogram of total staff satisfaction scale. And so we've got it looking like this. We've got the normal curve on top of it. We can see that most of the data is inside of the normal curve. A little bit of it's coming out. We've got a little outlier here. We're skewed a little this way, but we'll be able to see more what's going on when we get some more information. And so moving on, the next thing that I want to do is generate a bar graph. You reset this and get it out of the road. So to generate a bar graph, I'm going to go to graphs. And then I'm going to go to legacy dialogues this time. And from legacy dialogues, I'm going to go to the bar graph. And because I'm doing multiple things, I need clustered. And then I definitely want to make sure I've checked summaries for groups of cases and then define. Okay, and then when I'm ready to define, I need to make sure that I've checked the other statistic box. In the top, I want total staff satisfaction, which I have there. And then in my category access, I want employee status, which I have. And then define clusters by. And then I'm ready to run that. And as I said, I've already got this for us. So let's pull that up so that we can see my bar graph. Okay, so here we have the bar graph. And we're getting a little bit more information, different information than what we had before. Looking at our permanent employees up against our casually employed employees. And so what we can see here is that in both groups, they both start out in their first 2 years just kind of like in the work. And then for the permanent employees, they kind of start thinking, this is my life, huh? This is what it's going to be. They lose a little bit of satisfaction after they've been there for 3 to 5 years. But our temp employees, they just lose a tiny bit. They still enjoy their freedom and they still are happy to come in and work on a temporary basis casually. And after that, after we've been there about 6 years, we spike up a tiny bit more in the satisfaction. Mind you, none of it's down here in the toilet. It's all pretty high. But here we have a worker who's trained and efficient and enjoys their job, but has other enjoyment outside the workplace. On the other hand, our casual worker, our temp worker, is starting to say, is this really my life? Is this all that I do? Maybe they wish that they had a more defined profession, but their satisfaction goes down just a tiny bit. So that is some good indicators there. I'm going to go ahead and minimize now. We want to generate a scatter plot in exercise number 3. We're going to be looking at the relationship between years of service and staff satisfaction. So the first thing I'm going to do is back to graphs, back to chart builder, and this time I want to get my scatter plot. So I'm going to go ahead and check this, and my directions for module 3 are to select the third scatter plot box. So that's what I'm going to do, the grouped scatter. And then I want to make sure that I have total staff satisfaction in my x-axis. And this time in my y-axis, I want length of service. So here, we pick that up and stick it here. Alrighty, there we go. And we're ready to run that report. Let's go ahead and see what it looks like in my output. Okay, here we have it. Now this is giving us some more information. We're kind of looking at individuals and where they're at in their staff satisfaction based on their length of service. So this indicates length of service. We've got this one, 2 or 3 people who've been there a while. We can see that predominantly we're dealing with new employees. Some of them a little bit seasoned, and some of them are creeping on into thinking, yeah, I'll retire here. But we just have a few outliers at this point. Alrighty, so that was our first graph, our first scatter plot. And now in our second scatter plot, we're going to go again to Graphs Chart Builder, and we're in the scatter again. Oh, it cleared it out for us. Good, that's good. Let's just start from the beginning. Okay, this time we want log transform of service. And here it is. We're going to go ahead and click that and stick it in our y-axis. And then in our x-axis, we're still working with total staff satisfaction. All right, so let's check it out. Let's see what that looks like in real life. So as we bring it down here, things look a little bit better. We can see that people are pretty much right through this area. We of course, we do have our outliers and some people lagging behind or just coming on through here. I'll be honest, I don't know what log transform of service is, so I'm not positive what we're measuring. But I do like the fact that we can see a lot of scattering right here in the middle. Okay, so that was exercise number 3. We're moving on to exercise number 4. And in exercise number 4, we're going to generate a box plot to explore the distribution of the scores. So let's go ahead and get our output out of the way. And for this, we are going to do what we do. Let's go ahead and reset. And we want graphs, then chart builder, and then this time we want box plot. So we're going to come on down here and click box plot. And we like this guy right here. So let's move the simple box plot. And then here we want, this time we want total satisfaction to be our y-axis. So let's go ahead and stick that in our y-axis. And down here in our x-axis, we want age. So let's pick up age and stick it down there. Okay, now we're ready to see what our box and whiskers looks like. So let's check that out. And pull up the output statistics viewer and scroll down. All right, so this is giving us some new information. We've got satisfaction over here, and then we have ages, 4 categories of 1, 2, 3, 5 categories of age. We notice with our 20-year-olds, there's not a bunch of outliers. They're all kind of pretty compact in between 10 and 30. Here's our medium line right there on 20, just a little bit higher here on the 30. So under 20, we kind of are packed together, but it is a little more spread out. And then we move on to the 21 to 30. And in this instance, we've got some outliers on our whiskers, and the whiskers do have kind of a spread. And that's what we see for all of these categories. The smaller data that's more compact, and it's all about in the same area with some whiskers to indicate some outliers are outside of that. Okay, we are now going on to the fifth and final exercise, which is to generate a line graph to compare staff satisfaction for the different age groups. Okay, so this time we're going to use our legacy dialogue again. So we're in graphs, and then we go to legacy dialogues, and then we go to line graph right here. And we want summaries of groups again, and we want multiple lines. So let's define it that way. And then we need to add some additional information to define it. Okay, so we want to make sure that other statistic is checked. The variable is still total staff satisfaction. This time, the axis category and the category axis, we do want age recode in 4 groups. All right. And what a memory this has, because I was back into it a few minutes ago and I didn't have this. All right. And then under define lines by, we've got employment status. And it looks like we've got everything we want to check for our parameters. And let's go ahead and see what we get. And I accidentally hit it. So now we have 2 identical ones. All right, I'm going to make this big so we can take a look at it. One thing that I wished I knew how to do, I wished I knew how to make these lines heavier. I tried to use my editor, but it was tripping me up a little bit. And I decided, you know what, I can settle with the thin lines. But once again, I think we can see that our temps, our casual employees, they come in strong and then they take a dip and then just start to slowly go back up, but not ever as high as they were before when they get to their 50s. But our permanent employees, and I want you to be gone. Oh, I did not want that. Thank you so much. Okay, so our permanent employees on the blue line, they don't come in charging, but they do come in with some good staff satisfaction. They ride that for a while. Maybe they have a little bit of a midlife crisis and bottom out just a tiny bit, discovering, you know, is this the meaning of life? And then they embrace it and just shoot that satisfaction right on up. Okay, so this was me using graphs to explore data. Had a super fun time with it. And I'm going to go ahead and end this recording. Have a great day.